On today's episode, Happy New Year, the team discusses resolutions and goals for 2020. Kevin Hart releases Don't F This Up, which prompts the team to discuss our top 5 black comedians of all time. Eddie Murphy hosts Saturday Night Live and is set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Ari Lennox takes on Black Twitter after being compared to a Rottweiler. All this and more. Ladies and gentlemen, grab a drink and get comfortable. Let's get to it.
The Janae Latrice Podcast.
All right.
With the banging on the front.
Janae Latrice Podcast. Yeah. Janae Latrice.
Was that English?
Yes, it was. It's from the Sean Paul Get Busy video.
Oh, okay.
You remember that video? Oh, no.
Let's try this again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Janae Latrice Podcast, the happy hour of podcasts where young black creatives come to discuss our worlds and take what we need. I am your host, performing artist and entrepreneur, Janae Latrice, and I am joined by my absolutely incredible co-hosts. First up, owner of a grounding touch massage studio and accented air candles. Y'all give it up for spoken word artist and entrepreneur, Marquise Wright Lee. Hey. And, to my right, y'all can't see her, but she's sitting to my right. Just take my word for it. All around creative, songwriter, musician, owner of events at the Loft. And listen, y'all make sure y'all go download that new EP, Dipped, on all streaming platforms. Give it up for Erica Emag, the queen.
Thank you.
What up? All right, listen.
Hold on, did I get a clap for my shit?
You did.
Like,
You did.
You ain't hear it?
I did not hear it.
it was
I was like,
there.
I didn't hear it, so I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I ain't getting no clap.
Everybody gets applause.
Everybody gets an applause.
Listen, y'all. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining us. It is officially 2020.
Rise and
Brand
shine.
new.
I wasn't ready. Kylie wasn't
Shout out to
ready.
Kylie.
Rise and shine.
It is, in fact, 2020. And listen, I spent the New Year's Eve working. Of course, I gig pretty much every New Year's Eve. So I was singing and dancing and working people's weddings. How did y'all bring in the New Year?
I went down to my mother-in-law's house. She lives right outside of AC, so we went down there, had a little pajama game night.
Oh,
jump.
that's fun.
Chill.
I'm always working, but that's ideally like how I would love to spend my New Year's Eve. Like just on some chill pajama shit with loved ones, falling back.
Well, see, boom. See what happens. Well, see what you gotta do is right. Once you build like Boogie Down Underground, like up to the up to the zenith, right?
Okay.
You can have
the Zenith.
the Boogie Down be booked out, so you send your singers out.
Baby,
While
you
had
already,
a mu-
we already on the same page, okay?
So
The
that's-
first thing I'm doing the moment I get the chance to is never working New Year's Eve again. But in any event, E-Mac, how did you spend New Year's Eve?
I set my alarm for 11:30 so I can get up. I said, I'm going to be up.
Wait, nigga, you took a nap?
You were
God
asleep?
I took a
damn.
nap. This is my first year not working because, I
Yeah.
usually am working wedding band stuff. But, yeah, man.
So did you wake up in 2020 or did you catch the
I
countdown?
woke up, I opened my eye, and I was like,
Not-
thank God. And I went
one
right
eye.
back to sleep. So shout out to my bed, because that's where I was.
Okay, rest.
But then I got up at like 2 o'clock, and I felt like
New
being
Year,
up.
new me.
I mean, listen.
I felt like being up at that point, like, oh, okay, all right, we up.
All right, so do y'all have any New Year's resolutions? Do y'all set New Year's resolutions? How do y'all feel about this whole thing? Marquise.
I don't necessarily set resolutions because I ain't shit and I ain't gonna follow through. But
Oh my God.
But so what I did was just because I got the momentum of my business and everything.
Yeah.
I wrote down a list of just goals I wanted to accomplish somewhere.
These are
in the
resolutions.
I mean, not necessarily resolutions. Like, oh, I'm gonna make a change. Like, nah. It's
What's
like
the difference?
It's what I see is like continuing a momentum,
Right.
Shift from the last year. There's nothing like necessarily new.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with
just
that.
I want to build upon what was already coming through. So it's like 26 things on this list so far.
My
Everything and all of these things can be achieved in this year.
Like realistically.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not like I said, oh hey I want to go to the gym. Oh, fuck
No,
go to the
no,
gym.
I feel what you're saying.
It's just
That makes sense to me. So I'm sort of on the same wave as you because even though I was like intentional to set my resolutions, only 2 specifically for me, I would love to end 2020 in the black, business-wise.
Yeah.
Didn't happen 2019, but it's all right. I still got
okay.
another year to try to. I would so that's a goal of mine. I'm gonna try to do everything I can between now and December to make sure that we end in the black. And just in the same vein of continuing things from the previous year, I'm really excited to continue this journey of navigating self-employment. You're talking to somebody who's always had a 9-to-5 since she was 14, and this is my first year really venturing out to be 100% self-employed. So I'm just excited to continue that journey and to continue to get to know Janae, the entrepreneur. Hey, Mac, what are your resolutions?
Oh man, I agree with you guys. It's like a continuation of good habits. But my thing, I want my credit score to be. I want it to be great. Like I want to walk in any place and be, approved. So that's what I'm working on in 2020.
You know, I'm proud of you for that one because if this is a callback to episode 1. When Emac was talking about, man, I just want to have the cash, fuck the credit. But now Emac's like, you know what? This credit shit, you know.
Now, let's ride on that. Let me tell you, I do not want to have any more credit. Like I don't want to go into any more debt. I just want to clean up what I have.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do want the money to pay for if I ever get a new car, I'm paying for the car.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I do recognize that where it is right now, baby. Okay. Call it dad, call it mom.
I had started a credit restoration journey of sorts at the end of 2019. And yeah, y'all just pray. Y'all just pray.
Yeah.
It's hard. Look, let me tell you, it's hard because especially when you're not getting more income in, you just have to fix the habits that you formed, with the income that you have.
So one of the things that I did, because back in a couple years ago, I had like some credit cards that just like, I was like, fuck it, I ain't paying it. And just like, so I had like, but so it was 3 credit cards specifically, and they went into collection. So it was like, at a certain point, I was like, my credit score was dropping because like I had, when I was 18, I got my like first credit card. I was just in college, and like I was actually good with it. And I had it for a number of years. Which means my credit was like actually for a young 20-something, my credit score was in like the
higher,
like a good 7, like a solid 7-something, like not necessarily it's like a 750, but it was like a good 700. I just had the shit, whatever. But then life started happening. I made dumb decisions. I got 2 more credit cards. Like I did like I tried to like start a t-shirt line. I'm actually wearing the t-shirt that got me into that.
Wait, we gotta read the
million
fans, even if you only have 1. That's a word.
Yeah, it's a great word. It's a word that I ain't sell as fast as I needed to.
Well, is that the only message on all the shirts? I'll buy that. How much you selling them for?
I ain't even got no more of these.
You gotta answer quick. Come on, you can manufacture 1, 2, 3.
So,
he said,
you know what? No, Nick,
I am not going back into.
Listen,
Okay.
I may have a 1 laying around. I'll let you know. But so what I did was like once I like started, once it went into collections, and I was like looking at my credit, like all right, I need to like clean this shit up. So what I did, once they like started sending like, oh hey, you owe this much, but if you pay this much, you can,
they'll come for that ass.
I was like, all right, let me sit down with this. So like I took the like the lower offers they did, and I did 1 at a time, right? So like I had a credit card I think the limit was like maybe 25. They said, hey, if you pay us $900.
Oh,
baby.
Like if you pay us,
but you know that $9 be a struggle sometimes.
You ain't telling me. Shoot.
Yeah, they're like, if you pay us 900, we'll clear the debt. And I'm like, all right, cool. So that's what I took 1 at a time. I took 1 debt at a time.
And
I gave
just
myself
chiseled away.
6 months. I did specifically 6 months. So now I have 6 payments. You're gonna pay this thing off in 6 months. Boom. Once that's gone, the next thing, 6 months, boom. And I cleared those up in, a year and a half.
Well, I'm taking notes, and, hopefully shout out to you, Marquise, for taking the steps to do what you need to do for your credit. And again, pray for your girl. Shout out to Erica for making that a New Year's resolution. Now, with regard to just in the vein of 2019, moving into 2020, was there any particular highlight, like a for the culture highlight in 2019 that just did it for y'all? Emek.
I'm going to say that Issa Rae launching her own music label was my for the culture highlight.
That's a good one.
Because it felt like she was taking a break from Insecure, but she really was working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I shout out to her. Shout out to her new artist.
Shout out to Issa and a whole bunch of everything that she's doing for the culture. I love her. Marquise?
I don't remember anything from 2019.
Get the hell out. It was 5 minutes
days
ago. You're
Nigga.
kidding me.
My memory is horrible. I have
down
no
with
idea
Marquise,
what the
y'all.
hell happened in 2019.
What? So many great things happened.
Y'all gotta fill me in. I don't remember shit. Like I barely,
Well, let me fill
I
you
barely
in.
remember last week.
Let me fill you in. My for the culture highlight, personally, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, was the opening of Tyler Perry Studios and everything that went along with that. Just the whole decadence, the display of gorgeous blackness, those sound stages, and the way he dedicated them. And my personal favorite aspect of it all was the fact that he opened this thing on what was formerly a Confederate Army base. Man, if that thing ain't a mic drop on that ass, like I just loved it. So that was one of my favorite for the culture moments. Now, is there anything in particular, or was there a personal highlight for y'all? Any personal, or that was pretty much that?
I dropped my EP.
Yes, dipped, available on all streaming platforms right now.
Like Emac just dropped some fire for the end of the year.
I loved
like
it.
as a Christmas present for y'all niggas.
And we got
it
to
was
perform
great.
together, the three of us. That was so dope.
So that was so I threw this event, right, for all y'all that don't know, called The Sound of Light. It's just I threw it before and I wanted to bring it back, especially we were in and out the year, the podcast was coming up. I was like, oh, let's do this thing to like introduce
It was
people
dope.
to
I enjoyed it.
like the personalities of the podcast. Y'all hear us talking shit, but here's doing kicking some shit. So that happened and it was amazing. Y'all were great. Like
You were great.
Like Emac came in here with the hat, looking like
That's her look. If y'all never seen Emac with the wide brim hat, go to her
she was
IG right
looking
now.
like a pro-black Batman villain. Like I was ready to call her the Thickler. Like you know what I mean?
Not this.
Hey,
know what I mean?
baby,
Not
the Thickler.
looking like
Done.
looking like
The hot toddy kicking in.
I love the
a
hot
female Cam Newton, call her damn Newton. Like it's like you know what I mean? Like she was just out here with the hat and the
Killing
jeans on
shit.
with the
Much
You
appreciated.
did absolutely amazing.
And first of all, this is also my first time ever seeing Emac like do music because we only met like 3 months ago.
This is true.
So,
This is true.
she's a beast.
So she was out there killing it on them keyboards.
Download Dipped right now. All streaming platforms. All right, so let's keep it moving. Is there anything that y'all are looking to leave in 2019? Either something that happened publicly in pop culture or just personally in your life? I'm going to go last.
Why you want to go last? Go first.
All right. Let me sip my hot toddy.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so, I really would like to leave pregnancy scares in 2019. Personally, that's just for me. Let's be being responsible adults. Janae, in 2020. I would have loved to have left Trump in 2019, but that's not a thing. So, yeah, and that's it. Pregnancy scares. No more.
I'm gonna pray for you on
Crickets.
that one. Listen,
Don't know what to put there. Engineer is
I don't
stumped.
care.
you know what?
I don't care. It's about growth, okay? It's about being real with the things that you need to leave in 2019. And for me, I just want to be a little bit more responsible with my body.
I hope. Oh my. I hope the same thing for yourself. Really, I do.
Thank you for standing in solidarity with me, bro.
Yeah.
After the crickets.
Because
Now they
trusting a
don't wanna
nigga
talk.
pull-out game is
No,
not a viable method of birth control
No.
at all.
They know. Go ahead. What do you want to leave in 2019, Erica?
I don't want it.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to leave in 2019.
Nothing? Everything's coming into 2020?
Nah. I think I want to leave cancel culture in 2019.
I'm
You
still
know,
gonna be canceling some people.
no. I think it's okay not to support people, but we just be canceling like, oh, you cancel. Fake cancel culture is what
That's
I
true.
should say.
Yeah,
like
I can
if
get
we
with
cancel
that.
them, then we bring them back, like, or we don't fully cancel them. So if we can leave
Kanye West.
an example of that, yeah. So
Did you answer already, Marquise?
No, I
Are you
didn't.
leaving anything in 2019? Or are you taking everything?
I mean, I don't know, dog. Like, I told you, I barely remember 2019.
Oh, that's right. So basically,
You
you're
wildin',
leaving
nigga.
everything in 2019
All
because
right.
you can't remember shit to bring into 2020 with you.
You wildin' niggas. Let's leave all you niggas that wild perpetually.
All you wildin' niggas, period. That works for me. Well, it appears that actor, comedian Kevin Hart has some things he would like to see left in 2019. The comic released Don't Fuck This Up, season 1 of Don't Fuck This Up on Netflix. And it has actually been met with some mixed reviews. Critic Ian Thomas Malone writes, Don't F This Up is a self-indulgent vanity project designed to sell Kevin Hart as a brand, a superficial 6-episode commercial with little depth. Now, I want us to get into some thoughts on this, but before we do, I think we have a clip from the trailer. Run that, Email.
Do you regret? Do you wish you had done something differently?
Okay, let's just stop it right here. Because before people judge and go, Kevin Hart's a dickhead, he's an asshole, I want you to understand that there's a lot that you don't know.
All right, so what are our thoughts about Don't Fuck This Up, Kevin Hart in general? How do we feel about this? And I am going to intentionally go last this time. So, Marquise, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts on Kevin Hart, Don't Fuck This Up, the comic, the man, the husband, ...
I didn't want to look at it in the first place.
Why?
Nah, I don't care. Like, all right, so my thing with this, like, from what I get from the gist of it is he's a little man with a lot of fame and is stupid sometimes. And, like, it's, like, I understand there are certain instances where you get to a certain level of success and you just become stupid just because you do.
So how is he stupid?
And cheating on your pregnant wife in a public area. Like cheating in general, right? Cheating in general. And just wilding, one of his excuses was, oh, I didn't have my people there with me to say, hey, Kevin, you're doing a dumb thing. You know, he didn't have those there. So it's like he just went off to do the thing. And yes, you should have your tribe around you to help you, like, navigate through things where, you're not the most confident yourself. But also take responsibility for the shit and that was stupid and you shouldn't do it. And like, I understand he like got set up by
A member of his tribe.
Yeah. But
Allegedly.
like, there's also
add that allegedly in there. Allegedly on the
But
Janae
there's, like-
Latrice podcast.
also you gotta not you have to do your best to not put yourself in the situation. Like, even on the instance where he was fighting with his trainer on the jet, like,
He was drunk.
yeah, okay, still it was stupid.
Yes, I don't doubt that there were a lot of... I don't disagree that there was a lot of stupid decisions made by Kevin Hart, period. Erica, I want you to chime in before I give my 2 cents. What are your thoughts
I'm ready
on
to
this?
hear yours.
No, what are your thoughts on this? I'm going last to break it.
All right. I'm gonna start with my drawback, my negative.
Yo, I thought you were about to say my neck, my bag.
My neck.
I don't know why.
My back. I'm gonna start with my neck, my back. I'm gonna move to Kaya, and then I'm gonna move. No.
Go.
First, you gotta put. I'm joking. I feel that when you have money, you control the story. So because he has enough money in his productions and life, he was able to tell the story the way he wanted to tell it. Now, I'm not my only negative, but that is one of the things that I'm faced with immediately. Like, you're able to tell the story and you're able to pay an
After
editor.
the world told it for a long time first, though.
Yeah, but when you have money, you can edit.
Media
You
was
can tell the
on his
editor how
ass.
you want things to kind of, you get what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
yeah, I do. I guess for me, it's like when it is your Netflix special, sure.
Yeah.
But before that, this was all in response to the
what
media
happened.
tirade.
Absolutely.
You know?
So let me move on.
Go.
So that's my first thing. I feel like it was very vulnerable in certain moments. As a business person and as a artist, it showed me the grind. Like, if anything, this man was not sleeping. Like, you could see on his face. Like, that's how much it takes. It takes that many press tours. It takes getting up. And then you still got to fit time in with your family. And that can be, you know, you can be torn apart with that. So that part of it is very, like, admirable. I'm like, man, that takes a lot of physical and mental fortitude.
Yeah.
The other side is just seeing his flaws, and like, we give our family members a pass on half the stuff that he was doing, like most of the stuff that he was doing. We all know a family member who cheated on their wife. We all know a
Exactly.
family member, or we are that person ourselves. Like, we are that person who got drunk and said something bad to our friend, or you know what I mean? Like, so these things really happen, but when we see it, we don't identify with it. We think that it's something that, oh, look at him, look what the money did, and we broke and still act like that.
Broke as fuck.
You know what I mean? So, in that perspective, it's like, no, this is real life. Now, he shouldn't have blew up. Now, I feel like when you drunk, you do tell the truth. So maybe there is some truth in what he said. Like, you know, he felt that his trainer was a moocher. Now, I follow his trainer on Instagram, and I can see he has clients, and he's working his butt off. So shout out to him. But
I feel like that was misplaced anger.
yeah, it was it was
never
definitely
intended
like,
for Bull.
it wasn't. I feel like Boss. He's such a. I mean, like, he's helped this man through some of the toughest times. So he didn't really deserve that. Either way, it was vulnerable. At the same time, I don't really feel like it addressed everything. I feel like it kind of like, this is me. This is what it was. Boom.
Well,
and
season 1.
it's gonna be another season.
Yeah, I mean, if they're calling it season 1, I just assume that there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah.
But what else do we? I don't want to see no more about it at this point. I mean, like, I'm not
I
interested
was
to see the
upset
next.
that they didn't put anything about the car accident in there. I wanted to hear some
Well,
details.
I feel like,
That might be
I guess it must, because that might have been
legal.
too recent also. Like,
yeah, in
you
terms
don't
of how
know-
they were taping and
Yeah.
Oh, right. That did. Yeah.
But to piggyback off of what you were saying in the instance of the trainer, like, even if Kevin was the trainer's only client, only client, it's not like he's on the payroll and not doing anything. You can actively see. So
And
even
doing
if
it.
yeah, I mean, it was just okay, you are my only client, but I'm actively training you. It's like there's still no reason, like, oh, you wouldn't be anywhere without me. You know, it's like, all right, but I'm here and working.
Yeah.
I
It
felt like
was a nigga that was here and was taken from you, allegedly.
Allegedly.
As they
Allegedly
say.
on
But,
the
yeah, I
Janae
mean,
Latrice podcast.
you know.
No, but I feel what all of you guys are saying. For me, I thought that the Netflix special was brilliant. I definitely thought that it was a strategic move on his part as a brand. I could see that, with all of the controversy and his name kind of being in the media for the reasons that it's been in the media as of late. It was clearly a brand move that was strategic. But what I appreciated was, to me, as a viewer, it didn't feel like it was an attempt to explain away what had happened and what was going on. It seemed like it was an attempt to introduce himself to us in ways that we had not known him previously. We got to be introduced to his father in like very deep ways, which was very touching to me. And the one thing that stood out to me the most, I mean, he cheated on his wife, but I don't make light of that. That was wrong. He acknowledged that, and he did not apologize for the third time for the anti-LGBTQIA comments that he had made years prior. And I acknowledge that. I think he should be held accountable and all of that. But the thing that stood out the most to me about this special that took my breath away and literally had me emotional at times was the ways in which that he put his team on. That thing blew my mind. Like, having them tour with him, having them be involved in his staff, having them host shows, having them open for him. I thought that was amazing. That's something that I want to be able to do, you know. So shout out to Kevin Hart for Don't Fuck This Up. I mean, you know, I don't know if he's like a favorite comedian of mine or anything like that, but I thought it was a pretty strategic move on his part.
Also something from Kevin that I absolutely understand, and I don't want to not mention this, is I understand that he is at this point doing it like bigger than anyone else has done at this point, right?
The levels.
So I understand, like specifically with the Golden Globes LGBTQ community
That
thing.
was the Oscars.
Or Oscars, Oscars, excuse me. Where he handled that in the most inappropriate way.
It was super ignorant.
And it's because I understand why it happened, right? You're at the top of your game at this current point in time. Not only do you have these not too long ago, you just had this shit, you know, you were caught up with the whole cheating thing, but then you constantly have people targeting you online. It's like, oh, he's not even that funny. He's just, yeah. You have regular people and you have comedians such as Mike Epps, who's like constantly like doing this, like, oh, he's not that great. He's not that. So you're
we gotta stop
steady,
attacking each
like
other.
you're steady. He's steady, like working his ass off, as you said. He's steady working his ass off, putting people on, doing his great thing, having these sold out shows, doing all this. But like, there's still like something like always trying to just like, you know, shoot at him, chip away at him, and then you wake up one morning and some shit you said years ago
is right on your doorstep.
Back on you.
That's
and like,
trolling.
and I understand like of him that he should not have gotten on social media.
No. He should have apologized again. Even though I understand him and his frustration, and I would not have wanted to either. His media coach should have been like, just do it.
Yeah, and like he should
just
like,
do it.
That should
we about to host the Oscars.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
But financially, I feel like he came out better.
Probably.
Now, I'm not saying that he should, like, of course, I'm going to agree that get off of social media and take your emotions out of it. You hurt, you hurt a section of people.
Yeah.
And you need to, if it comes up a million times,
apologize every time.
You know, it might just be that. Now, I don't say, like, I got to hold you to something you did like 15, 20 years ago, but come on.
I wouldn't have a problem if it were me being like, and I'm still to this day very sorry that happened.
Yeah,
that's
like,
it. That's all he could. That's all he had to say.
Because my thing with it was he saw it and then he got on the Instagram
He went
live and then
like he was too sleepy. I feel like that's when sleep deprived. He was irked. He was all
like,
of those things. You can't react like that.
And I understand that it feels like at some points this feels like a witch hunt for him. It's just like he's just doing these great things and somebody finds this thing he did a while ago and it's just like I understand his frustration, but like the immediately getting on social media about it, and then in his apology later, he was like, "What he said? My dream was never to be like an ally." Wrong answer. Like it's like you don't like, and no one's necessarily asking any like. The folks of that community are not necessarily asking cis folks
for you to be an ally.
An ally. Just don't be like if you're not going to be with us, get out the way.
Yeah,
is essentially it. And like no one's asking Kevin Hart, we absolutely need you to be an ally. Nobody's asking that. Just don't be an asshole.
Do y'all think that he's funny? Is he? If you had, matter of fact, let's rate our top 5 black male comedians of all time. Is Kevin Hart in your top 5?
No.
He's not in mine.
No.
Who is in your top 5, Erica?
I have Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake, and some more.
Earthquake is hilarious.
I love Earthquake. Did y'all hear the thing he talked about? Like, he had this kid that wasn't his kid for all these years. And the oh man, I gotta.
No.
Yeah, this girl put the
so
kid
wait,
on
give
it.
me your top 5 again.
Okay,
but I got 6.
Can I put some 6?
You can give an honorable mention. Yeah.
All right. So Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake, some more, and Lavelle Crawford.
Lavelle Crawford almost made my 5.
Yo,
he almost made my 5.
He's
hilarious, but I be on the fence. Like, is he just funny because he fat? Like, you know, some people like if he was skinny, would he still be funny? Right. Who is your top 5?
I don't have a top 5 for anything. I like literally. I just because what I qualify as my favorite changes all the time.
Okay, so right now, who's among your favorites?
Honestly, I'll say of black comedians, like I absolutely love Bernie Mac. I absolutely love Earthquake. So like those two are always, you know, in my mind. Like everybody else, you know, is like kind of whatever. It'll flip around.
I'm surprised Eddie Murphy is not in your top fives. That's
For
kind of
legendary status, yes, but I don't.
Hilarious. Are you kidding me?
I didn't grow up in that Eddie Murphy. Like he wasn't on my. You know, what I mean, he was the '80s. I was born at the end of the '80s.
So black people are gonna kill me. I've never seen Delirious or
Raw.
No. So
I'm just gonna give y'all my
whatever.
top five, and we're gonna keep it moving. I have Dave Chappelle, definitely Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac. I'm not sure how Martin didn't make either of y'all's list. He's motherfucking hilarious.
You gave us 5.
And
I mean,
for me,
we got a
top 5. Martin Lawrence, are you kidding me? And for me, I'm sorry, but this may be an underdog for many, but I find very few people as absolutely hilarious as I find David Alan Grier. I think he is one of the most hilarious people on the face of the planet.
Okay.
Sorry. Why are you making this face? You don't think he's funny?
I think he has funny moments.
But Lavelle would make your top 5 over David Alan Grier?
Yeah, my personal. It's
is
personal.
I know, I'm asking a question.
Martin would make my top anything.
Martin wouldn't make
Martin
your
is
top?
funny, but when I'm talking, I don't know.
Oh.
You gave me 5, and I just gave you the ones who always can put. I can go to
make you crack up laughing.
every time. I could watch it some more special back to back. I could
Some
watch
more
Bernie Mac.
would not make my top
What?
10.
Oh,
I think she's really
wow.
funny, but
Okay.
And with like Kevin, for me, his specials for me, like Kevin is funny initially. I can watch his special the first time and laugh. Watching
Yeah.
it again, I laugh a lot less each time. My ex and her family would crack up at the same goddamn special over and over again. Like
Kevin Hart special?
Yes, like be
Yeah.
like laughing so hard, tears running, and like I'd be sitting there just like.
and
But
that's
I
how
think
it is.
that's how. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that's how it was with his earlier stuff. Like his first stand-up special. That was iconic. Everybody knew every line in that, and they were quoting it. Then as it progressed, like
I don't
you
think
get
his
to,
specials have gotten better and better every
no,
time.
no, they haven't, because it's like, and then it's like, I get it. Like the laughter isn't like
I can put on
gut-busting.
Delirious or Raw right now, and you would be in tears and stitches. It's motherfucking hilarious. It's iconic, and
try to
it's
put
never
that on
gonna
me.
not be funny. If Eddie Murphy is not in your top 5, I'm low key side eyeing you, but that's fine because
Me.
gotta do what you gotta do,
baby.
I didn't like Coming to America either, so there's that.
Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
Oh my god, the blasphemy!
Yeah.
I need a shot.
I need a shot too if you don't like Coming to America.
Coming to America. Moving on. Speaking of Eddie Murphy,
I'm here to be the
he
Antichrist.
recently hosted
Really?
Saturday Night Live, which got rave reviews. All 10 of his children flew in, and he even had some other comedic greats there on the stage with him. I believe Chris Rock was there, Dave Chappelle. And, you know, it was recently announced by the Critics' Choice Association that he will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 25th Annual Critics' Choice Awards, which I think is well overdue. Eddie Murphy been in the game for 4 decades. It's a long ass time. Do you guys have any favorite Eddie Murphy moments, or y'all just don't really check for him like that? Altogether?
I know Eddie Murphy more from movies than stand up. So that's when you're saying
I said comics,
You did,
comedians.
but
That could be
I'm
comedic
thinking-
acting.
you're right. But when I think of comedy, like like you put in top 5, I'm thinking that. But yeah, no, Eddie Murphy.
Coming to America was-
Coming to America. The Nutty Professor. It was
The Nutty
really
Professor was hilarious.
a game changer. Think about it, like you know what I mean. And
Did
his-
anybody see that recent movie Dolomite?
I did.
It's getting all these rave reviews, and for me, I'm very confused by it.
I missed it. I
don't get it.
I get it, but I don't get the hype.
I think
I watched the entire thing.
I think it might be more so for the people who watch the
Blaxploitation films back in the day.
and like all the the other Dolomite related things before. So it's like boom, you watch the and then come up to that. I haven't seen it myself, but like from people who I know who already enjoyed the same type of before.
I
they
didn't
came
get
to
it.
this,
I was just like, even when I was reading up about this nomination, this Lifetime Achievement Award nomination, they all mentioned this Dolomite moment so much. I mean, I really loved him in Dreamgirls, if I'm completely honest. I thought his performance was amazing. Why would you laugh? I'm dead serious. I thought his performance as Jimmy Early
Jimmy got sold.
was fucking epic, dog.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm dead serious. You don't think he killed Jimmy Early?
No.
Yo, it was so good. 13 years. Solid gold.
This time.
Black DJ.
Hey, honestly, my favorite Eddie Murphy moment,
That movie just makes me laugh. It's so many
my
parts.
personal favorite Eddie Murphy moment is Party All the Time.
Oh my
Him
God.
and motherfucking Rick James.
Oh my goodness. Why was he? Well, they released a record.
Yes,
right?
he did.
Wow. That should have never happened.
So a moment also people like, you know, the same time as Party All the Time happened, he also did a song with Michael Jackson called What's Up.
No, I heard.
you?
I don't think I have I heard that song before. What's up with you, Michael Jackson?
It's like, what's up?
Well, I don't think Eddie
what's
Murphy should
up?
really be singing, but he is funny.
When you have money, you can do
Oh, my
whatever you
goodness.
want to do.
Let's get Erica all the cash.
That's why
please,
Michael
'cause
Jordan
I will
played
be
baseball.
out here. Lorel loves Jimmy.
I'm sorry, Jimmy Early.
But Lorel and Jimmy
Did y'all get to see him host Saturday Night Live?
I did. I enjoyed it. He just hit all his classic stuff.
He's really good. He's
He hit all
really
his classic
talented.
stuff.
Yeah, he was in the pocket. I'll say that. Like nothing was like kind of over the top new, but he was in his pocket.
It was
and-
more for nostalgia. Like if you were an
Yeah.
SNL fan back when he was on, you got to see all his,
Right.
you know, his sketches, which is
How old is Eddie Murphy? Does anybody know?
about 73,
He can't be that damn
74.
old. He can't be
About
that damn
82.
old. There's no way.
About 96.
Stop it. Don't have some respect for the great.
I do.
Don't play with me. Eddie Murphy got all the Botox, okay? He looked younger than me. Shit. Get out here.
That Jimmy Early.
Okay.
He's
So
only
you
58.
I said
can't
that.
be true.
About 92.
is he yo,
He's been in the game so
Is he
long.
only 58? He younger than my mom? That don't make sense.
61.
It do make sense.
He was born in 1961.
This don't make sense, y'all. We got to go and check the record.
So what did you think of Lizzo's performance on Saturday Night Live? Switching gears a little bit.
I thought it was I thought it was okay. You know, it wasn't It was Lizzo.
I didn't see her perform.
It was Lizzo.
It was cool.
Yeah.
You saw
it was cool.
Shout out to the drummer. I think her name is
She be knowing these musicians.
That's her job.
Shout out to Lizzo's drummer. It seems like she seems to be having a good year overall. I mean, except the basketball game
She's
outfit
having a good ass time.
when her
Like,
ass was out. That was weird for her. I feel like I'm not
Did we talk
giving
about
my
this
opinion.
already?
I don't think so.
Can we hit it a little bit?
Sure, hit it.
so
She went to the game with her ass out. I mean,
and I saw the dress. Like I saw, I guess one of her friends that posted like an Instagram video of like her like walking, I guess, into the stadium or whatever with the dress, and the dress just looks weird to me.
that's what my whole thing was. It wasn't for me so much that her ass was out, but it wasn't a cute look in my opinion to begin with. Like I could see if it was like a sleigh of a look and you just had your ass out, but it was just like it seemed like an oversized sweatshirt that she just kind of cut the ass out of to make a statement.
Yeah, it's just a It,
Glory, not Joy. Sorry, had to look.
Glory
up
is the drummer.
Is the drummer.
But other than that outfit, I feel like she's had a pretty solid year. She did win a Soul Train Award, which resulted in a loss for Ari Lennox, who was never shy about how she feels. In fact, most recently, she and Tiana Taylor were insulted on Twitter, and I just thought this was disgusting. At Whenever You Want It tweeted, Ari Lennox and Tiana Taylor's ability to have dangerously high sex appeal while simultaneously looking like Rottweilers will always amaze me. And here's what Ari had to say. She went live.
I'm not with it. I'm not fucking with that shit, like, at all. Like, how people hate black people so much, how black people can sit up here and say that's not my problem. Or she does look like a Rottweiler. That's fine. That's fine. But and you want to talk about how people are so sensitive. They want us to cancel freedom of speech. Why is this your speech? Why are you so comfortable tearing down black women and no other race? Look around. Look around. When are Hispanic women ever compared to dogs? When do they do that? When do they do that to white women? When are white men doing that to white women? When are Hispanic men doing that to Hispanic women? They're not doing it. They're not. Like, and how come as a black woman, me sticking up for it, I'm Azealia? Like, bruh, like, it's insane. It's insane to me that you're right. Like, that is real freedom of speech being threatened. That's real speech being threatened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What's Azealia?
Azalea Banks. She's always
Azalea.
Azalea Banks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was trying to feel like what Azealia.
She's always like
Azealia. I was
in the
like, dang,
media.
I don't know what that word means.
I just want to start this off by saying, and I am, of course, going to open the floor up because I want to hear from you guys, but I just want to start off by really challenging people of color, black people, to please not just take any and every moment to get on your soapboxes on social media and just spew trifling things about one another, whether it's female or male. Take a moment and understand that everybody has feelings. These are people that are out here grinding and letting their heart show in front of the masses. And there was nothing to me that warranted this man to go on Twitter and spew this, talking about that these women look like Rottweilers. I think, Ari, shout out to you. I think you're beautiful. Tiana, shout out to you. I think you're beautiful. The media had a lot to say about this. There was a lot of opposing viewpoints. Some people felt like Ari's response was a reach because she made it a racial thing regarding black women. What do you guys think? I'm just going, I want to hear from you guys. Marquise?
All right, so there's a few things. One, let's start with the fact that sex appeal and looks have nothing to do with each other. There are some niggas like oozing sex appeal that aren't the most aesthetically beautiful.
I agree.
So there's that. Second of all, niggas be wilding just because they got internet and access to it.
I agree.
It's like I absolutely. It's not a reach. Why? Because, and I think Ari said this of like black women are the most disrespected beings on this earth, and I put an asterisk next to that. I think they are the most disrespected aloud, like verbally, because there's still, as I've mentioned in an episode prior, there's still the genocide of Native people still happening now. So, although black women absolutely are highly disrespected verbally, are being killed at alarming rates, they're at least. Somebody want to jump on me, man. Fuck. But at least there's still some type of coverage as opposed to, Native women who get absolutely no coverage for their
You mean media coverage?
Yeah, like media coverage for that. So that's that. I do absolutely believe that black women are just disrespected for just no reason, right?
Speak.
I agree. Let me. It's no but. It's no. I agree, and we do have to be careful with inserting everything to be racial. Now, I do agree that we are the most, and I can speak because I'm a black woman. I've been a black woman for 30 years.
Disrespected.
We are not covered. Even by our own black men, even by our own black women, we are the most trampled on and then exploited, and then things are taken from us and then you spent, and we're not included in the gains or the monetary benefit. But as a people, it's a very sensitive time. Yeah. So everything is like, oh, that's a race thing. You call me a Rottweiler. You said I look like a Rottweiler because it's race. Those could be two different things. Now, I don't know this guy who tweeted.
Nobody knows him. I mean, well, now they know.
Now, he was wrong for tweeting that, period. You should not. I feel like we shouldn't be putting people down, just like you said. Exactly. Don't take your platform. Even if you felt like she is not the person that you desire, that doesn't mean she looks like a Rottweiler.
Because
You know what I mean?
niggas do shit for clout too. Because
Yes.
like if you think this might be a tweet that just goes like niggas will do shit for like that too. Like
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Ari suggesting. I don't know if I feel like she was suggesting that it was a racial matter. I think she was just calling to question why we do this to each other. That's how I felt. Like, why is it that we're so quick to just spew negativity to one another? I don't know if she was like,
Was he a
you
black
said
man?
this because
I think so.
I'm black.
Yeah.
I believe so. I can't be 100% certain.
I think
on
her
that.
point was like, why do black people do this to each other so often? When she and her thing was like, when you see no other race doing this to each other.
Right.
But you do actually. I mean, and we also do to each other. Like she said, you know, when you ever hear a white woman compared to a dog, you know how many memes I've seen of niggas just comparing like white women in their hair to like just wet
who
dogs.
created those memes? Black people or white people? And I think that's the point that she was trying to
I mean,
make.
yeah, but
We
like
do it to
also
each
like
other more
like
than
Isn't
different
it that
things.
we don't have it in our face because we're not a part of their community?
You-
Like our timeline is filled with blackness, and in the white community or white Twitter, I don't even know if that exists. White Twitter, but it could be that
It's
they-
just Twitter.
Twitter.
No,
It's just
white
Twitter.
Twitter is, but you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is it proximity?
Yes,
You know what I
absolutely,
mean?
absolutely. Like,
It can be. You can't say absolutely because you don't really know.
well, because we're not, because like these things aren't inherent, like exclusively inherent to us. Right. We know what we see, what we are involved in. Like, it's as you can see, like
I just don't have enough. Like, granted, we don't see it, so I just. But then again, I've never heard of it either. So it's like I don't have enough to actually spend time making that an argument.
well here,
Like it might be happening among white people. It might be happening among Spanish people. That's not really a leg to stand
you
on
have
today.
because you have shit like the epidemic of tanning, right? Of like
The epidemic.
It's an epidemic.
the epidemic
Baby.
of tanning, and like in the constant berating of people who are like entirely too pale and they need to get like dark. We're not like, although you know black people get on about like we're you know like, oh yeah, you pale as hell. Like no, that still happens within their community of like, oh, you're too white, you're too pale, you need to get this tan. This is where like they didn't get the idea of tanning from us. They got the idea from themselves. Like so they still have
Wanting to be us?
Right.
You
what you
mean?
mean? How they get the
That-
idea of tanning from themselves? Explain.
No, I think they got that from us.
I'm just like
because we still deal with this too within our community. It's just the opposite. And
we
you too
bleach
dark.
it. We bleach it.
It's the same thing. So for me, I don't know. It's definitely you raised some great points. You know what I'm saying? And it's something to think about, something to ponder on. Shout out to Ari though for never being shy about how she motherfucking feels.
That might, I don't know if it's always a good thing though.
Child, when
I
she
don't-
quit music, I gotta be honest, I was
Baby.
done with her. I was really upset.
Did you cancel her?
I didn't. I actually performed one of her songs like the next month, but I don't know. Like,
And killed it.
bless you.
Hey.
I'm rooting for everybody black. You know, I want Ari to win.
I'm not.
You know, Marquise. On that note,
Some of these niggas be wildin'.
you know, I'm still rooting for them though. I'm still rooting for you niggas that be wilding. I would ask that you stop wilding so much.
You rooting for Ben Carson?
Who?
Ben Carson?
Who?
Is this a black person in real life?
Yes, Ben Carson.
He not black.
Rooting for Omarosa, nigga.
I'm talking about black people. I didn't say. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about black people.
You rooting for Stacey Dash, nigga?
She not black. I'm talking about
Hey,
people that
go
are black,
Stacey. Go
that were born
Stacey.
black and also identify as black. So that we're clear, okay? In any event, listen. I think,
Rachel Dolezal. She
Who?
one of us.
yo, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. I'll take
Oh,
Eminem.
my
I'll take
God.
Eminem
She
before I
one of
take
us
Rachel.
now. What
I'm
you
not
mean?
playing. Yo, that's sick. It's not a
She
game.
one of us now. Come on over, Rach.
Why? Because she got some cornrows.
Them cornrows popping.
They not.
She went to the same person Beyonce went
She's
to.
gonna have
She was
locks.
like, give me the Beyonce.
Beyonce be having lace fronts on the car.
She do. Did you see the joint when she was holding it and say Blue Ivy? But you could tell it was like, I don't know.
Listen,
If
I don't
black,
give a
you-
fuck.
if you a black woman, you know.
If I knew where Beyonce was ordering her lace fronts from, I would save.
First of all, you
I'm
gotta save
sorry.
$1 million.
I'm sorry.
I would
You,
say-
Save $1 million.
you think Beyonce is ordering her lace fronts? She's getting them shits custom
Custom
made.
made, okay? to custom-made lace front, to black women being less disrespected, to Ari Lennox speaking her mind, for Tiana Taylor paying that shit dust and saying, whatever, fuck y'all. I got a man who loves me. I'm not even gonna comment on this shit. I'm happy in my life. And, you know, to everybody, to Kevin Hart trying to get ahead, to Eddie Murphy being on everybody's top 5 comics of all time. Huh? You said something? Mm-mm. Thank y'all so much for joining us for the Janae Latrice podcast. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We out of time.
We
We out of time. I love y'all so much. Listen, we're going to be here every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. So make sure y'all tune in. Listen, I love y'all so much. And until next time,